Now this story here will likely get a few people happy because it's something the country's been calling for since it became widely known that it's happening. Of course, I wouldn't get your hopes up just yet. You might remember in 2020 we had like 8,000 float across the channel, and in 2021 it hit 26,000 doctors, engineers and rocket scientists being picked up by the border farce. Of course, the corrupt and useless mainstream media called them asylum seekers despite the fact they're almost exclusively young men between 20 and 40. This means they're not refugees, they're illegal economic migrants and literally nothing more. They paid 10 grand to get from their own country to here, once again proving they're not refugees. I mean, last I checked, refugees don't have a pot to piss in and are like 99% women and children, escaping conflict by going to neighbouring countries close to their own. They are certainly not 20-year-old guys in designer gear with smartphones floating in from France, that is for bloody sure. Now the report here states that they're going to push back these boats using the military, which I don't buy for a bloody second, but even if they did, it shows they only bother to do what you want when they need to run a bit of damage control. Obviously, this whole move and scrapping Plan B is to get Tory voters back on side now that the media have turned on Boris after 2 years of promoting his lies and propaganda. For some it will obviously work and voters will come back, but for many it's not going to. For me though, I see this as a distraction because, as I've covered before, their plans for legal migration is a bigger issue. Not only do they plan to use current asylum seekers in care homes after their no jab no job policy sacked tens of thousands, but they also plan to import 250,000 more to replace NHS and social care staff their mandates will sack. So while I would support pushing these boats back, I don't think they'll do it for a minute, and the real issue is the never-ending legal migration that makes even 26,000 boat wankers floating over here look like nothing. At the end of the day, the hundreds of thousands coming over here are the ones who's going to be taking the sacked healthcare workers' jobs with no mandated jabs for them, because it would breach their human rights, which is funny how that one works. Now obviously, when it comes to the no jab no job bullshit on both the NHS and care sector, let's not just blame the Tories, as Labour MPs have voted for it. As I've said many times, both can own this shit show, which is why they're getting a mention now. And let's be honest, the only difference between them is that Labour admit that they want mass migration. The Tories claim they don't, but never limit the numbers coming in, as you know. In fact, they just increase it year on year. That is why I sit here saying that this story is just guff and literally nothing more. It's a PR stunt because Boris Johnson looks like a twat. Nothing's actually gonna be done.